Hi, this is Danielle from Island Girl Creative Studio. I'm here to make this project that you see in front of us. It's the Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving reversible sign. It's super cute, very easy to make, and it has lots of options for you to customize, change, and match to your home. I'm only using these 5 colors right here, but you can go crazy. You can add so many things, and glitter. Glitter is like the #1 thing that makes everything awesome. So the reason why these ones are already green and you see a little bit of work already done is because I already recorded some of this video, but without audio. I know I could have gone over it, but it's easier for me to talk while I'm doing it. I don't really think about it, and then watching it and talking is weird. I don't know, I can't do that. But anyway, so round 2. I'm gonna go ahead and continue to paint all this. This one I painted, it was just the green, and then this one I painted, I added some white to it to kind of give it a little bit of a lighter look. You can also add, if you wanted to, a yellow or something to it to get even lighter if you wanted. I'm just going to go over it one more time. With the MDF, this is MDF, this is not birch, which a lot of people use birch to do these things, but I noticed that it warps. This stays very straight and strong. It sucks the paint into it. So sometimes you have to do more than one layer to get the desired look, effect, or tone of paint, because it all depends on, you know, how much paint stays on the very, very top of it. It sucks it in, and it is not a fan of water. So when you get water on it, that also goes in there, and it actually can make it, like, this is not outdoor friendly. You can make it warp as well, but only with the water. Whereas the birch will do it just because it wants to. I have some on the floor over there. I don't use it anymore. I used to use it all the time, and it's pretty because of the wood grain, but anyway, we paint everything, so you don't have any wood grain usually. But all right, so I'm gonna call it good for that one. I'm painting all the bases. What I do is I paint all the bases first, and I paint all the pieces that go on top so that they're ready to be glued by the time these are dry. It doesn't take a long time to dry, but I'm only fighting time, and I paint really, really fast and super messy. So when you're watching me paint, you're watching it happen in the quickest amount of time possible. Like, I'm going to paint this fast and furiously and messily. Is that all the words? I made all those words up. But anyway, you should take your time. You should drink some tea. You should put on some music, because that makes it more enjoyable. And actually, you should call a friend, because doing crafts with a friend is really fun. I have wanted to do that for a really long time, actually, but I'm always like going. So it's really hard for me to be like, oh, hey, come on over. We're going to do this right now. So not a lot of people are into last minute craft excursions, but it is what it is. So, like I said, I'm applying paint to these. I have said some things already, so I feel like I might be repeating myself, but that was in the other video that you didn't get to see. So I'm going to just try to remember what I've already said and say it again. When applying paint, which is the most important part of this, is we're using these makeup sponges. So these little wedges, and they're very, very, very fun to use and easy. I actually wipe the paint, and I make a small light layer onto the palette. And then as I'm wiping the paint onto the pieces, I'm being mindful not to push it. I'm just pulling it across, so you can kind of see that it's just dragging across the top of the wood. Basically, I'm trying to avoid pushing paint into the crevices that have been burned on there by the laser. So the laser doesn't do it very deep. This is called scoring. It's just scoring the wood. It's not engraving it, which engraving would be a lot deeper of a cut into the wood. And so we don't want to get the paint into it, because then it makes it disappear. And the only way to do that is by lightly dragging the paint over the top. And what it does is it just skips over that little gap, and then you still can see all the lines. See, I'm just painting and not pushing, just pulling, dragging that paint right over the top of it. And I am going to paint it basically the way that the example looks online. So that way it looks just like it did, and then you can customize it to your house and to your liking or your taste. So some people last night were painting this, and they painted them with like blues, which was really cool. That icy blue, I love it. It kind of reminds me of snowmen, and I really like the blue. Blue is fun for Christmas, but I'm a classic Christmas girl, and so just like Halloween, oh, I saw still doing Halloween. It's only a couple of days after Halloween, so it's appropriate. Plus, pumpkins are totally appropriate for Thanksgiving, and so we can pull them in. So we're in this weird month of Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, right? I know they have a word for it. I don't know that word. But you can celebrate all three of them. So we still keep out our pumpkins. Maybe, you know, the jack-o'-lanterns, maybe. I don't know. Just if they're not scary. But that's really pretty. Okay. And then the Christmas is happening, and then Thanksgiving, and some people ignore certain holidays. I don't know. It's just all over the place. But we're going to have all of them. I'm going to do all of them. So I'm going to see. I'm going to add some of the brown and the deep red. See if I can get a little more burgundy. Sometimes it just makes mud. Depends on the day. That's a little darker. We'll go with that. I'm going to reuse my sponges. So there's going to be a sponge for each color, and you can use both sides. You can cut them. You can do whatever makes you happy. But I try to use the same sponges in the same colors, so that way we don't have to use 1,000 sponges. And I am getting paint on the table, but that's all right. Okay, and again, so like this one has a ton of details, right? We don't want to lose them, so we're just going to lightly, we have just a little bit of paint on there, and we're going to lightly drag over the top of everything. Now, if you do get some paint into some places you don't want it to be, you can use a toothpick to go in there and kind of lightly just push into the space, and lightly the paint will come back out. So you can make that happen. So all is not lost. Also, if you notice, I'm trying not to get paint onto the edge of it. I just feel like it looks cleaner when you do that, but it's not detrimental just because you don't see the edges of this project anyway, so it won't be such a thing. Like sometimes you'll see it and it just looks messy. This one you don't see the edges too much because they're side to side to side. They go across the whole thing instead of in any other direction. All right, so these background pieces are pretty much done unless I decide I want to do something else to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move my letters over to here and then start on these ones. So, oh, the other thing I wanted to mention is, so it's M-E-R-R-Y and then there's H-A-P-P-Y. These are mirror images. So basically what you're going to do is when we glue them, we're going to glue them back to back. So one side is going to have the M and one side is going to have the H, so they fit a specific way. That's why I sat them this way, because if you're looking at them, also it helps to know that you have all your pieces, because we want to make sure you have all your pieces. That is most important. But then also the second most important thing is that they go together correctly, because if they don't, it won't work the way it was intended to work. And of course we want that. So, and you also notice that the bottom ones have tabs, but the top ones do not have tabs. And that's because the top, or these are the top ones, just sit on the back of these. And this is the one that does all the work. This is the one that holds on to the base and actually stands the whole thing up. And you'll see what I mean by at the end. I have this terrible thing of not painting on camera. Sorry. One day I'll get really, really, really good at it. Also, don't ever look at the camera either. So it's over there and it's up there. So super exciting. Okay, so I've got the orange one and then there's a tan one. So we're going to mix that up. Tan is literally just brown and white. Oops, scoot that over. So brown and white. We'll make a tan taupey color. And I like to mix it like this, so that way they're touching the color that they're trying to be next to. I always try to put the white in the middle, kind of as the universal color. All right. And as always, if you are missing any of the pieces, let me know right away and I will make sure to get them out to you. I create all of these. I have a laser and I cut them all right here in the Creative Studio. So I'm pretty good at making sure all the pieces are there because when I cut them out, I put the project together, and whether it's in baggies or it's on, where's that project? I swear I've got projects everywhere, but nowhere, nothing I can grab. I package everything together and I make sure it's all there. So I make sure it's there as I'm packaging it up. But things happen, and sometimes things don't get into the package. So if that happens to you, let me know and I will get you the piece that you need as soon as I possibly can. So again, oh gosh, off camera, I gotta look at what I'm doing. It's hard to, I want to pay attention to my project, but I need to look in the camera. I'm sorry. I will do better. I'll do better, I promise. Last night, there's a lot of different things going on, and it was really cute. There was so many ideas happening. It was very inspiring to see so many different colors and different personalities making things that were just really, really cool. I have one gal who is really great with details, and she, oh my gosh, I don't think I took a picture. I was like just living in the moment yesterday. I didn't take pictures. I took a couple pictures, not a whole lot, but I was eating good food, hanging out, talking to people I haven't seen in a couple of months because I hurt my back, had to cancel a couple of classes, and then was away on, not a holiday. I guess it was a holiday because we were having a good time, but we went to California for a minute. Oh, and this one is white, I believe. I'm going to touch that red though, I betcha. Ooh, the cable knit sweater one. All right, I did get a little bit of paint into the grooves here, but sometimes what I do is, here's another thing. Oh, good cat hair, fun. You can push the actual sponge into it and it will pull the paint out. But you do have to repaint that area again because it will pull the paint off of the entire thing. But either way, it's fun. The overall look of it is great. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I am the farthest away from perfect. When I do my art projects, I do not care that much about it, like to be perfect. That's not my MO. My MO is to have fun and enjoy what I'm doing. Let me see here. I don't have a, I'm going to run over here real quick. Hold on. If you can see the mess, don't look. Don't look behind. Don't look over there. So I have this tool. It's actually a dental tool. And it's very, very sharp. And I have actually poked myself with it before. But it's good for pulling up vinyl. I used to do a lot of vinyl working. And I don't know if you can see that, but boom, it's just like a toothpick. I just brought the line right back. So if you lose lines completely, then like I said, toothpick is going to be your friend. If you have one of these tools, then I would highly suggest using it. Ouch. Youch. It is sharp. No joke. I mean, these dental tools are not a joke. I don't mess around too much with them, but they work really good for picking up the vinyl when you have to like pull little pieces of vinyl out of stuff. If you have a Cricut, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They have a tool too, but I was doing classes with that stuff and we needed more, so somebody had mentioned, oh, dental tools, so I got those and they ended up being really ridiculous, so I ended up finding other tools, and I have those, but now we don't do those anymore, really, because now we have this, the laser cutting machine. So all right, so there's that. So my base is pretty much done, right? This is the base of all of the letters. I'm just going to push them up under there. They're going to disappear for just a second. And now we're going to work on these, which are the two words that go with either one. So Merry Christmas or Happy Thanksgiving. And I guess these are bases too, right? Because you have to put the words on them. So I'm just going to move this up like this. I'm going to paint the Thanksgiving one, and I'm going to make that one brown. This one is not, you don't have to be so concerned about the letters, the scoring, because it's just one big letter, so it goes on top of the whole thing. I mean, no matter where you put it, it's gonna be all right, because it says Thanksgiving. That's all. And you don't have to worry about the back sides because they're going to be covered. So there's that. Boom. And then the Christmas one I'm going to do with white, which is getting a little gnarly on there. It's touching red. It's touching brown and green. I got colors everywhere, which is not a terrible thing, but I do want this to have like a whitewash to it. So I'm going to try to just stick with the white paint. Ah! And a lot of times, like if I do get another color on here, I just take a baby wipe or a wet paper towel and I just wipe it off. It'll come off because it's just on the very top. If it dries, it's really hard, and it's hard to cover it up. Even when you cover with white paint, it still just does not have that really good coverage. So I really if I make a mistake first, then I handle it right when it happens. Okay, so now we're on to our letterings and details. And oh, I painted my hand. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, these are pretty much dry, but you just want to make sure when you're doing it, you want to make sure you do alternating colors. Like you don't want to put a green M on a green background unless it's a super dark green or a super light green, right? Because we want it to stand out. We want to be able to read what it says. And there are score marks on here to show you which letters go where. It helps to see where they're situated and to put them in the correct placings. But as long as you're not pushing paint in between the spaces like this, once you paint them, you can set them right on top. They won't actually leak out on each other. So for this, we're going to do a brighter red. Red on green looks good. And for the letters, you might consider doing a second coat. The backgrounds, not as much is important because they've got the scorings on them, which give them some personality. But the letters definitely want to be nice, bright, and have that full color on them. So, oh my gosh, am I painting off the camera again? Oy. If I was doing this live, you could yell at me, right? No, because I'd still have to look at the computer to see the comments, so it still wouldn't matter. Okay, so there's my M. I'm going to place it where it belongs because there shouldn't be any paint on the bottom of it because we just painted the top of it. All right, so what else am I doing? Let's see. We're going to do this Y is going to be red. So if you are in the interest of saving time, then I would just use the same sponge with the same color and then prepare or plan out what colors are going where. And then you don't have to, I've got a paper towel over here. And you don't have to worry about it as you go. So if you have an idea, you can always follow along with the example too. So you can change it as you wish or follow the example. Pretty, pretty, pretty. And then we look so cute. And I really think that glitter is a good idea for this one. So let's make that happen. All right, I think I'm going to need some more white paint because I'm getting dangerously close to other colors. I do like the palette for mixing. It makes it a little bit easier to make other colors, but if you don't have one, which actually, I mean, you can use anything as a palette. I've had a cardboard box where I just cut a piece of it and used the cardboard box. I've used a piece of plastic. I've used a napkin. I mean, the table, sometimes if you guys need paint and there's no room on the palette, I'll just put it right on the table. It doesn't matter. I mean, you decide. All right, there's an R. Let's see. I think that's good. All right, so now let's move on to orange. And again, like you have, these are the basic colors. You know, do as you wish. Add more, change them, give them different tones. You could whitewash them. You could speckle them. You could go with, so they have burn marks on them. If you paint the paint on there super light, last night somebody did an awesome job. They actually used yellow, and the yellow was so translucent that you could see the burn marks right through, and it looked really, really cool. So she worked with the burn marks instead of trying to cover them, which is what I'm constantly trying to do, is cover them, cover. But Also, you want to basically, oh, shut off. There it is. What was I saying? Oh, so you see this, how this is kind of like doing that? Like if it comes apart, it's no big deal. It's no big deal, right? Because we're gluing it down. So even if stuff breaks apart, if it's not broken, like it doesn't look like a whole nother thing, like it still says Thanksgiving and everything's okay, just glue it down. That's not a problem. If it breaks apart, happens a lot because it is attached very, very small little details right there. They're attached very small threads of wood between there. So it could snap, and that's okay. It won't affect anything because we're going to glue it down anyway. So it doesn't matter integrity wise for strength. It lays flat. And these don't have a whole lot of like pressure on them. So it's not like, what is that? It's not like they have to be super strong because some, you know, unless you have like little kids pulling at them, they're not going to come apart just on their own. They're just decorations. They're just sitting and enjoying your beautiful home on a shelf somewhere usually. So, wow. All right, let's continue. So this is a light green and we're going to make this a darker green. We're just going to add more green and then do another layer of green, and it will darken it up for you by just adding another layer. Oh my gosh. So I'm just going to talk about it because it's happening here and I am dealing with it. But so I have goats. We have a buck. For those of you who don't know, bucks are boys and they smell terrible. Like terrible. Okay. So today I had a friend who wants baby goats and he has a bunch of females. So I said, oh, you know, you could borrow my goat. He is, he wants to be a daddy again, but we're not, that one has on the back. We're not looking to, add any more family members to our herd. So go ahead and borrow our buck. He would love to have a job. He likes being a daddy. So, he came to get him, but, you know, Jasper, which is the name of the buck, was not really into getting into the truck. He's like, nah, I don't want to go. I like it here. This is my home. This is my people. So he had to be pushed in, and, I don't remember touching him, but what I will say is I can smell him like strong. So every once in a while I'm getting a whiff of buck and it's making me like, ugh. It's not, I don't know how to explain it. It's just not good. But I don't know where it is. Like, I don't know. I wash my hands, but a lot of times you have to use goat's milk to get the smell off. It's like a magical potion to make it come off. But I don't have any goat's milk right now because we don't have any babies. And I don't drink goat's milk. So, yeah, that's what's happening right now. All right, so what am I missing? I'm missing the E. Which we're going to make it a little bit lighter than the one next to it. Candy cane colored. And then let's see, what else are we missing? Oh, everything's starting to blend together for me. We can do this in a dark brown. Aha. And again, just make sure we're keeping the paint on the top. We just want it on the top. If it gets elsewhere, like if it gets on the bottom and you place it down, you're going to get paint on stuff. So I use this side. Ah! did it again. Well, I use the side of the sponge to wipe out the crevices if some of the paint is smushed through. So keep that in mind. I'm going to put that over there because I'm not certain that I didn't get it on the bottom. This one is going to be a taupey color. Am I painting my belly too? My gosh. Sure hope the audio is working with this because I do not want to do voiceover. I don't like those. Always feel so disjointed, and then I always feel like I'm missing whatever I'm supposed to be saying. I'm like, oh yeah, oh wait, I was doing that. Oh yeah, wait, I was doing that. And then your mouth doesn't match up. And so it kind of looks weird. Or maybe that's just me. That's how I feel about it. All right, so we're gonna make, actually it would be really nice to have some yellow. So I might just pop a little yellow into that. Let's see if I can make a more of a limey colored green. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh. There. Oh, that's cute. And I'm painting them up in the air, but you can paint them on the table. I'm running out of room, and so I wanted to keep it all in front of you so you could see what I'm doing, but clearly I'm not doing a good job at that because it's everywhere, all over the place, and then I keep taking it off camera. I think I got all the letters now. Oh, no, I missed one. Ah! That's taupe too, I think, right? Or white? Let's do white. Oh, and then also make sure that when you have the paints on your hands, only touch the edges, because if you touch the top, the paint will transfer from your hands onto your project. So you don't want to add a color that you didn't mean to add. It's very difficult to cover up colors. You want to make sure we only have what we mean to have on there. If you have baby wipes or are able to wash your hands in between, fantastic. If not, then just be careful. So there are these little tiny pieces too, which are, you're going to do them in different colors. Like there's, let's see, for Christmas, there's just the holly. Well, there's the Christmas trees and the holly berries. So we're just going to pop some red. Ooh, this is hard. So if you have a piece of tape, you could tape this down so that you don't have to hold them in your fingers. Or see that, the little holly berries? Those are tiny. Okay, and then the actual holly itself is gonna be green. Ooh, it's limey green. Ta-da, one. Oy. Okay, number 2. And then the acorns and the leaves and everything, the only thing I'm going to suggest for those is that when you're painting them, just decide where you're going to put them, because if you're painting it red and then you put it on the red, obviously it's not going to be contrasting and it's not going to look as cute as it could. But if you are putting it on red on the taupe, then that's going to look great. So just keep that in mind as you're making your little leaves and such. So like this one, I'm going to put some orange and red on this one. We're going to do this and we're going to make it like ombre. Ooh, that's very, very fall looking. And then we've got an acorn. And so you want to make sure, again, you're just tapping that paint on there and not going all out, because we don't want it to go into all the little crevices. Those little details make this look so cute. So now acorns can also be, I've seen them in an orangey color, so it's completely up to you. I'm doing mine all browns. And then I'm going to put a little bit, so I made this white and I'm just going to smear a little bit of that brown on top, and there we got a really light, beautiful color. I've got 2 more leaves to do. Let's do this one in red. with a tiny bit of orange. And then this one in, oh, we could do like a brown one too. Brown leaves. That happens. And we'll add some orange on top of that. And then this one, let's do red again with a tiny bit of orange on the outside of it. Cute. Okay, so to me, I think I've got all the pieces painted. I highly suggest you wash your hands now, because we do not want to get glue involved in all this drama, because what happens is the glue will take the paint off your hands and you will glue paint to your project is what will happen. I always use this gel paint or gel glue right here, because what happens is it gives you a second in case you make a error to move it around. I'm going to move this paint away so that I don't get involved in that again. There goes the paintbrush and the sponges. Scoot them over. Everything should be dry. And I say should be because it dries very quickly, but not always. So when you're applying the glue, I do a very, very light, I start by the pushing on the end of this, because you don't want it to come flying out of there. You want it to go slow. One tube is enough to do almost every single one of the projects I have. So you should not need more than one tube of glue to get an entire project. And sometimes you can do more than one project with a tube of glue. So that what that means is you're just putting a little bit. We don't want it to squish out the sides. That is also a pain in the tushy. You can actually blot it too. You can put it down on a paper towel and blot it if you want to. I don't do that usually, but you can, to get off if you have an excess of glue. Sometimes what I do is I'll take a paintbrush, a clean one, and I'll wipe out the glue from the insides if it squishes too much. So like there's all sorts of ways to work with it. But if you notice, so my glue is not leaking out all over the place because it doesn't have that pressure. The pressure's only there when I'm using it. As opposed to if you push it in the middle, it creates a vacuum vortex kind of thing. And it pushes glue out constantly. Like it just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing, and then it goes out all over the table, all over your hands, all over whatever the heck you're working on. Ask me how I know. I'll tell you, it's because I did it. I used to do that, and then I would get it everywhere. And sometimes the little tube would break, and then you glue the tube to your hand. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, and it makes great stories for the kids. Tell them. At one time, when Mom glued her hands to the art project or to the table, which I think in one of my last videos, I glued my hand, no, not my hand, my arm to the table because I had glue on the table, and then I put my arm on top of it and glued my arm to the table. There are score lines on here, so if you wanted to know exactly where it's supposed to sit, you would be able to find those lines. If you miss them, nobody's going to know. You really can't see them. They're not easy to see, which is, they're kind of hidden. It's good and bad, right? Because you get to see them for you, but nobody else can see them. So, can you see what I'm doing? One day I'll get the camera angle right. Just to get it where it is right now was a pain in my tushy. It took a lot longer than it should have, and I got frustrated and just said, you know what? It's fine. It's fine! I'm the only one here, so there was nobody to yell up at me. Alright, did I get some? I got some green on here. That's okay. I got some dark green in the center there, and I'm thinking about what I can do. I think what I'm going to do is take this and blot it away. There we go. All fixed. Also, I have paint on my hands. I'm going to get it on something else. It will happen. It's not if, it's when. It will happen. Boop. Just a little bit of glue. Again, this is not going to be under super duress or anything, so you don't need to glue it down like it's going to come off in a storm, like there's going to be a hurricane in the house and everything's going to fall apart. It is not. It will survive. Boop. And if you are not on a flat surface, these will slide because it's gel. So while it's waiting to dry, if it's not flat, it will go with gravity. Keeping that in mind, working on a flat surface is a great idea. All right. Now there is something else I wanted to discuss. When you're putting on the little decor pieces, and we found this out last night before I was able to make mention. These sit in front, so you don't want to put any of the decor pieces down below, because this is, it literally sits like this. Even, all the bottoms are even, and then they have the up and down. So that goes over there. So it sits in here, and what that means is these little pieces need to go where you are not going to be impeding that view. So this is for Christmas. So we'll set this in here. You can get close to it, just don't go behind it, that's all. This can go here. This can go here. Okay, everybody's got a little something for fall. Okay, just a little bit of glue. Boom. It now lives there. Boom. Acorn. Somebody mentioned that we should use tweezers for these kinds of things. That's fine if you want to do that. Definitely okay, but I found that it just, for me, it's harder just because I have to use a tweezer and then I have to figure out, I got to see what the tweezer's grabbing, and that sometimes that's harder for me than anything else. I'm going to move this up here. Okay. Then I'm going to put the trees on the sign. Oh no! Timber, we lost a tree. Okay, got it. Christmas is saved. Okay, that there. That there. Let's see, this is tiny. Holy heck. Holy heck. Okay. All right, and this is going to go over, I think it's the E. That's where it looks cute. And the Y. Okay. All right, so now we have all of these glued. These two do not get glued, okay? So we're going to set them to the side. They are done and sitting there and waiting for all the other magical things to happen, which glitter is magic. Let's get some glitter. So I do, the glitter I do, this way. Okay, is just this ultra fine glitter. Is it Glitterific? Glitterific by Folk Art. So I paint it on. I just open the tub up and I just dip a paintbrush in and then I go to town with that. It's easier than putting it on the palette. It's easier than putting glue on something and then trying to make that work. Oh, goodness gracious. Remember those days when we put glue down and then we shook the glitter on top of it and then we had to take the paper plate and then put it all back in? Oh, forget about it. Forget about it. That glitter is crazy. I have that glitter. Why do I have that glitter? It's because it's pretty. I have buckets and buckets of glitter because it's pretty. Okay. Oh, I just didn't say anything about this. So we have a tabby piece and we have a flat piece. So the flat, we want to make sure that it is flush along 3 edges and that the tab sticks out. So we want a tab. So this one has a tab. This one does not. The tab sticks out on the bottom. So we're just going to make sure we do that. Okay. So, and I would suggest, I know I'm not doing what I suggest, but of course I'm a woman of tell you and not do what I'm supposed to do. Putting the glue on the one without the tab, because then you won't ever get the glue on the tab by accident. If you do, then it won't be removable or reversible. And that is the whole idea of this project, is that it is reversible. And you can't reverse it if it's glued into the stand, which I did not paint. which I'm going to paint as soon as I find where I put it. You're watching the glue. Hopefully you're learning. Uh-oh, did I reverse these? Okay. Make sure you're putting the right sizes with the right sizes too. That happened last night where we had one size that was on a, like a small was on a large or something. You got to make sure that they are flush. They are meant to be. They are built this way for each other. So you're going to have a little map, a road map that will help you with that, and you won't have to worry about figuring it out on your own really. If you just follow the road map, you'll be there. You'll get there. It's like GPS for your crafts. So this would make a really great like paint night or girls night if you wanted to do something like this at your home. You don't need me. You could actually use this video if you wanted to, or you could just look at the piece of paper that comes with it and build it there. Or one person could watch the video and become the expert while everybody else is drinking and eating, and then they can help everybody put it all together at the end when they watch the video. So think about that. I can make multiple kits and mail them out to you, and then that way you could have your own party in your own home if you wanted to. I have plenty of events on the calendar, not a lot of craft events, more of them are painting events. I try to wipe the glue off at the end so there's nothing there, and then put the top back on it. You can use them again for later, but if you'll notice, I did not use it all. I could use it for something else. Where is the stand? What did I do with it? I feel like it's nearby here somewhere. Let's see. I had it in my hand a moment ago. Oh, I think I found it. I did. Okay, so here's the stand. You can paint it or not paint it. It doesn't matter. It will work either way. You're not going to be able to see it as I build it. Okay, this little tabby right here is for the front piece. So this is the front piece. Technically, it sits right here. But I'm going to build the word first. And these should all be glued just fine. Now they sit like this. Ooh, I smell that goat. I don't know where. It must be on my pants. Must have touched me. Now don't be alarmed. Well, the last one's not glued all the way yet. Uh-oh. They're not dry. They're moving. I'm gonna lay this sucker down. Okay. I'm gonna lay it down for a second. But you can see it this way. So the back side, it's not meant to be reversible like this. It's meant to be picked up, turn the letters, and put them back down. So you set them back down. So don't be alarmed when the back side does not say happy. It says like something silly. But this is how it's supposed to set. This is exactly it right here. I am gonna add some glitter to it right now because it doesn't dry very quickly. So what I like to do is put it on when I'm not gonna touch it anymore, because then I don't have to worry about getting glitter all over my hands. Although I still will. But you know what I mean. If I had to mess with it after putting it together, it would be a lot more glitter. But anyway, so you just can disperse the glitter as you see fit. So it doesn't have to go on every letter. It doesn't have to go, I mean, glitter your heart out, however you think it should go. I'm trying to let that dry so I can show you how it flips around. But I guess I gotta hold it up to show you. Maybe I'll just do every other letter or something. So, and you can do, here's the other thing with the glitter. You can do different colored glitters sometimes. Like I was killing myself. I had every color glitter you could imagine, and then we would just paint that color. Like if you needed red on red, you'd put red on red. What I found is if you get this really fun silver, or if you're into gold, there's gold too, and then just put it on top of the color, it enhances it. So like this looks like red glitter because it's on a red background, and this looks like green glitter because it's on a green background, but it's just silver enhancing the paint. Oh gosh, it's so pretty. Glitter, 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 glitter. Okay, so I'm going to see if this is definitely dry. Ah! Okay, don't tilt it around. It's supposed to sit, not be handled like this, so it won't sit perfect into. Oh, for good gravy's sake. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so when it's flat, it sits nicely. When you hold it in the air, it does not work as well. So there's that. I wanted to put it in front of the camera in my here, like. Okay, so it's supposed to sit on the shelf. Put it on the shelf and leave it alone. But when you change it out, I'm gonna change it out right here so you can see the magic of the change. This camera angle is tripping me out. Okay, so okay, I'm just gonna do it flat. You take it like this, and then you spin the letter around. It is hard to do. Oi. All right, I'm gonna do it the way it's easiest to do, but I'm hoping you can see it. So you're just spinning the letters in their spot. So this was like this, I'm gonna spin it around. I'm gonna pull, wiggle it, pull it, spin it. It's like a bop it game. Wiggle, pull, spin. And you can, like I said, you can paint the bottom, but oh, that's the Christmas. I like the natural wood for the base just because it goes with everything. So whether it said, you know, Happy Easter or whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm gonna lay it back down so you can see it like it would be standing up. So see, now it says happy. It's not, you don't spin it like this. You turn and flip. I'm gonna put some glitter on this side too. I'm an equal opportunity glitterer. Glitter, glitter. I have to sing the glitter song when I put the glitter on too. Okay, and then once that's all done, that's it. That's the whole project. It is available on my website. Oh, is that I got a glitter booger, which is just a little booger of glitter, just dried glitter. But it is available on the website to buy. You can buy it with or without paint because some of you have your own paints. So if you have them, great, use your paints. If you need the paints, then I will send you with the colors that I showed you here. That way you can create exactly what I've created. But if you want to do something else, completely understandable because it can match your house. I feel like this is more of like a all encompassing like holiday one. I think I'll just do that. I like the every other letter. Can you see the, I don't think you can see the glitter on the camera. These cameras are not as detailed as I wanted them to be. But all right, I think this video is probably long enough. I won't make you wait any longer. You don't have to wait till it dries. All right, so there it is. Can you see the glitter at all? Oh gosh, it's very pretty. So happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas. These are fun and easy to do. You can do it with friends, you can do it by yourself. You can watch the video again and do it with me, yay! And don't forget, if you like the glitter, it's this glitterific. It's very easy. You can buy it online. You can get it at, let's see. Oh, I got this at Hobby Lobby. So you can get it at Hobby Lobby. You can, it does dry. It's very, very sticky and it dries out really easy. So just make sure you put your lid back on as soon as you're done, or else it turns into a big, huge, just chunk of glitter. Like boom, that's it. I don't even know what to do with it. I guess cut it open and stick it on something. I don't know. But all right, so if you'd like to order this project, it is at www.islandgirlcreativestudio.com. I do post it on Facebook. I think I'm working on TikTok, but TikTok's just turning into a silly place where I just do silly things. So maybe not for business, but yeah, or just send me a message and I'll let you know when the next class is. You can look under events and you can see where you can do them. This is just one of many projects, but this is one that I thought was really cool to make a video for. So, all right. Hope you enjoyed it. Okay, bye.